In this video, I'm going to show you how to register a new domain name using Godaddy.com. Now, Godaddy.com is perhaps one of the largest and also the cheapest domain name registration companies out there. So when you go to Godaddy.com, the first thing you'd see is the search form for you to find a new domain name. So just type in the domain name that you want, and if you want to select the top level domain, you can also select it from here, and you can see that Godaddy has tons of different top level domains that you can choose from. So just type in the domain name that you want and click on search. Now the chance of your domain name being already taken by someone else is quite high. So if you cannot find the exact domain name that you want, Godaddy also gives you several other options that you can choose from for different top level domains, for example .info, .co, .me, etc. Now if you're not interested in those domain names, then if you scroll to the right, you'll see under the recommendations section, Godaddy will also automatically recommend available .com domain names. But if you're not interested in these domain names, then you can also look at the premium section. And here Godaddy actually lists some of the premium domain names sold via their website. Premium domain names, of course, tend to be more catchy and more interesting, but they have been previously registered by someone else who is now selling off that domain name. So of course those domain names are going to be pretty expensive. As you can see here, the name domaindeck.com is available, so that sounds interesting. But if you scroll down, you can see all the different domain names, premium domain names that you may want to get. So I'm just going to select one of their recommendations and then click on continue to registration. Now Godaddy.com is very well known for recommending all sorts of different products that you can add to your order, even though what you want to do is really just to buy a single domain name. So here they are recommending different variations of the domain name, the .net, .org, etc. And if you want to get all these domain names, you can just click on add, or otherwise click on no thanks to continue. Next, you'll be asked to create a new account here, or if you are already a Godaddy customer, then you can just put in your Godaddy username and password here to log in and add that domain to your account. So if you're a new user, make sure you fill up all the required fields here and click on next. But for this example, I'm just going to log into my account and show you what happens. So in the next step, Godaddy is going to recommend a registration length, and of course you're going to go for one of the higher registration periods of 5 years. But if you just want to register this domain name for a year, then make sure you select a year here, okay, and then make sure that your registration contact is correct, and then click to next. Next, Godaddy would recommend some of the premium domain name features, for example, who is protection, etc., business registration, and these are all pretty useful if you want to protect your identity and your contact details from prying eyes. You can add this to your domain name purchase, but if you don't want any of this, alright, and then you can just click on next. Next, they would also recommend some of their web hosting packages, their secure or SSL certificates, etc., and also additional email addresses. Now, you don't need to purchase any email addresses from Godaddy, because when you add your domain name to your web hosting account, you will automatically be able to create new email addresses in cPanel. Okay, so just click on next. And finally, of course, you'll come to the confirmation page, and you can see that there's still some options for you to select some of the variations of the domain name if you want to. But if you do not want to, then just click continue to checkout. And in the final step, you'll be asked if you want to make a payment by credit card, gift card, check, PayPal, or any of the other payment methods. And then when you have selected those, just make sure you click on I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions, which of course you can go through the terms and conditions here, and then click on place order now to finalize your order and secure your domain name via Godaddy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get web hosting from one of the most popular web hosting providers on the internet, which is HostGator. So to access the HostGator website, you can just go to www.hostgator.com. The first thing you would notice at the HostGator website is that they have different types of web hosting that you can buy. The first is called shared web hosting. It is the one that you see above here. The second type of hosting is called reseller hosting, and then they also have VPS hosting or also a dedicated service. Now if you just want to set up a single website, then the option that you should go for is the shared hosting option. So just click on view web hosting plans. On the shared web hosting page, you can see that HostGator has several plans that you can choose from. So if you just want to set up a single site, then you can go for the most affordable plan, which allows you to host a single domain name only. And this plan at the moment starts at $4.95 a month. Now, one thing that you should notice with almost all web hosting providers out there is that they will always quote you the monthly price, but this monthly price is derived from the total cost per year or per annum. So for example, this here we can see that the 3 years pricing is $4.95 a month. This doesn't mean that you would pay $4.95 a month. This means that if you pay for 3 years upfront, the actual monthly cost is $4.95 per month. Alright, so if you want to know how much you will actually pay if you get 3 years initially, you can just take the $4.95 per month times 36 months. Okay, so you'll notice that the longer you register your web hosting, the cheaper the monthly rate is going to be. So in this example, let's assume that you just want to go directly for the monthly rate. So it will be $8.95 per month. I'm going to select that and click on order now. As with almost every type of web hosting provider out there, you can either register your domain name through that provider, or if you have an existing domain name, you can also use that existing domain name together with your web hosting account. So in this example, I'm going to show you how to do it if you do not have a domain name and you want HostGator to register a domain name for you. So just type in the domain name that you want to use and click on continue to step 2. In step 2, you'll be asked to confirm your package type, okay, and also the billing cycle. And then if you are a new HostGator customer, you will be asked to enter your username and a password. And then you'll be required to provide your billing information. So make sure that this billing information is accurate. To make a payment, you can either pay by credit card or by PayPal. Okay, so if you choose to pay by credit card, make sure you enter the exact name as it appears on your credit card, the credit card number, the expiration date, and the CVV code. This is usually a 3-digit code that you can find at the back of your credit card or your debit card. And if you need help on that, you can always click on this help link here. Alright. Finally, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see exactly what you're getting for this price and for this plan. Okay, and make sure that you have read the terms and conditions of use and click on I have read and agree to the terms and conditions of use. And then if you scroll down some more, you'll be able to see the link that says create account. Okay, so once you have created an account, you should check your email account to see to look out for the confirmation emails that are given by hostgator.com. And in this confirmation email, you would find some of the very important details for your web hosting account. For example, the cPanel username and password, so that you can log into your cPanel account, as well as the DNS settings that are required for the particular hosting account provided by HostGator. So that's how you get web hosting from HostGator.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change your DNS or domain name server settings in Godaddy.com. The first thing you need to do is put in your username and password to log in to your Godaddy account. Once you are logged in to your Godaddy account, scroll to the right and click on My Account. Then click on Domain Manager to manage your domain names. Then click on the domain name that you want to modify. And in the domain name page, if you scroll down, you will see a section for name servers. And by default, your name servers will be the Godaddy name servers. So click on Set Name Servers. And then all you need to do is put in the name server 1 and name server 2 as given by your web hosting provider, and then click on OK. And then click on OK again. For name server changes to be effective, it could take up to 8 hours or more. So please wait for a few hours, and then you should see that your domain name servers have been updated to the new DNS settings. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change your DNS or domain name server settings in NameCheap. So the first thing that you want to do is put in your username and password to log into your NameCheap account. When you are logged in to your NameCheap account, just enter your domain name here and then click on Modify. On the domain name settings page, look for the domain name server setup and click on that link. Then, as you can see here, please select Specify Custom DNS Servers and put in the first and second name server, which is the NS1 and NS2 servers as given by your web hosting provider, and then click on Save Changes. If you have entered the name servers correctly, you should see a message here says that name servers updated successfully. So you may have to wait up to 8 hours for the settings to take place. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a free FTP application called FileZilla. An FTP application is used to transfer files to and from your web hosting account. So what you need to do is go to google.com and type in FileZilla, and Google will automatically show you the best results. Okay, so you can either click on the FileZilla main page here, or you can just click on the download link here. Then you'd want to select the most suitable version of FileZilla depending on what type of operating system you're on. So if you're on a Windows based computer or laptop, then make sure you select the FileZilla application for Windows. And if you're on Linux or Mac OS, etc., there are also different versions of the FileZilla FTP software that you can download. So for Windows, there are two different versions, but I'm going to go for the recommended version, which is most probably the most stable version of the software, and just click on it to start downloading the FileZilla software. And then click on Save File. Once the software has downloaded completely, then you can just double click on the software title and icon itself, and you should get a message here that pops up asking you to install the FileZilla application. Alright, so I'm going to click on Run. And then I need to look at the license or agreement and then click on I agree and select to either install FileZilla only for me or for all users. This is assuming, of course, that you've created different user profiles for your computer. And I'm just going to select anyone who uses this computer and click on Next. And click on Next again. And then select the location that you want to install the software. By default, it will be installed under Program Files, and that's where I recommend that you install it. So just go with the default and click on Next. And here you can select the name of the folder that you want the software to be installed in. Again, you can just go with the default and click on Install. And now that the software has been installed, make sure you check Start FileZilla Now and click on Finish to start up the FileZilla application. So this is how the FileZilla software looks like, and you can use this software to connect your web hosting account to upload or download files to and from your web hosting account. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the FileZilla software application to successfully connect to your web hosting account, and also how to start uploading files via the FileZilla application to your web space. To connect to any web hosting account, you need to know the cPanel username and also the cPanel password. And once you have that information, connecting is very easy. All you need to do is under host, type in the host name of your web hosting account. And this usually starts with FTP dot your domain name. Next, you need to put in your username and password. You may also notice that there is a section for port. Now you can just leave this blank, or if there is any data in here, you can just leave it as it is. And in most cases, you do not need to specify anything for the port information. And then just click on Quick Connect. And you can see here the process that FileZilla actually goes through to connect to your web hosting account. So once it has successfully connected to your web hosting account, you'll be able to see all the files in your web hosting account. Now, one common mistake that a lot of newbies make is that they just upload the files to the root folder of this web hosting account. What you should do is click on public_html or the www folder. This is the only folder that you should be uploading files to. So I'm going to click on www, and immediately here you can see all the files that I already have in my web hosting account. So if I want to upload a particular file to my web hosting account, I just need to locate that file in my computer using this left section here, and then select the file that I want to upload. For example, in this case, I'm going to upload salesletter.html, and then I'm just going to right click and select upload. And you can see here the process that happens, and also the progress bar at the bottom. So to double check, okay, and now you can see that the file has been uploaded to my web hosting account. Now if you want to download a file, the same process applies, except now you go to the right hand section and right click and select download. Now since the same file exists in both locations, your web hosting account and also your computer, you get a message like this that asks you what kind of action you want to take. Since the files are the same, you can either overwrite the file, or overwrite if the source is newer, or overwrite if it's a different size, or overwrite if different size or source newer. Okay, or you can just choose to skip the file. So be very careful when you are uploading or downloading the exact files in two different locations. You must make sure that you are always uploading or downloading the latest version. In this case, I'm just going to click on overwrite and click on OK. And now the file has been successfully downloaded to my computer. So that's how easy it is to use the FileZilla FTP application to start uploading and downloading files to and from your web hosting account. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a profile for your websites in the FileZilla FTP application, so that you do not have to constantly add your host name, username and password when you want to connect to your web hosting account. Now this is especially useful if you have multiple websites and web servers and different web hosting accounts. So what you want to do is click on File and click on Site Manager. Under Site Manager, click on New Site, and then you can give your site a name. Under Host, make sure you enter the correct host name to your web hosting account. For the port settings, you can leave it blank, and for the server type, you can leave it as File Transfer Protocol. Next, go to the logon type, and by default it's set at anonymous, but you need to change this to normal. And when you change it to normal, you'll be asked to enter the username and password. Once you have entered the correct username and password, you need to click on Advanced. Okay, and then this is a very important tip that you should do. To avoid making mistakes in the future, then make sure that you always connect to the correct remote directory. In a previous video, I've showed you that the correct directory is either the public_html folder or the www folder. So here I'm going to type in the www folder, but make sure that you have a / and then enter www. Okay, and then you can click on connect. But if you want to make sure that whenever you connect to this particular web hosting account, you are always synchronized with your local directory or where the files are stored in your computer, then you can also click on browse and select the exact location or the folder where all your files are stored in your computer. Now when that's done, just click on connect. Okay, so now when you want to connect to this website again, instead of having to enter the host name and all the details, if you notice this little icon here for Site Manager, and if I click on the arrow, I'll be able to see the website that I just added. And by clicking on this, I will be able to immediately connect to my web hosting account. And you can add as many sites as you want to the file manager to make it very easy for you to connect to multiple different sites. And in fact, in FileZilla you can actually connect to multiple sites using the different tabs, as you can see here. So all this just makes the process of using FileZilla very easy. cPanel is perhaps the most popular web host management software out there. Now there are several web management software that you can use to manage your web hosting account, but cPanel is not only the most popular but also the easiest to use. Whenever you get new web hosting, make sure that your web hosting provider enables cPanel for your account. To access your cPanel account, you just need to type in your website address followed by a slash and then put in the words cPanel. Using the cPanel username and password given by your web hosting provider, you can log in to your cPanel account. This is how cPanel looks like. Now there are several different themes or styles for cPanel, so your actual cPanel account may look slightly different, but it should contain all the similar features here. Your cPanel account may also have custom modules or functions that are enabled by your web hosting provider. And also some of the arrangement of the icons here may be different. That's because in cPanel it's very easy to just click, drag and drop all the different functions to rearrange them however you want to. And you can also minimize or maximize the bars here to hide certain functions and to display other functions. In the left section here, you'll be able to see the complete stats for your web hosting account, including your disk space usage, your monthly bandwidth transfer, email account, subdomains, etc. So this is how cPanel looks like, and in the following videos I will actually show you how to use all the functions of a cPanel account. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a new email account in cPanel. All you need to do is log in to your cPanel and click on Email Accounts. Then just enter the email name that you want to use for this particular domain name. And then of course you need to put in your password twice. So if you do not have an idea of how to create a password, you can always use the password generator. Click on Generate Password and that actually gives you a password that you can use. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to paste the password in here once, and I'm going to paste the password in here again. Okay, and finally I need to select my mailbox quota. Now since this is your own account and this is your own cPanel account, you can actually set a higher quota if you want, or you can stick to 250 meg quota by default created by cPanel. And then I'm just going to click on Create Account. Okay, so it says here that support at myactualurl.com has been created. And if I scroll down, I'll be able to see the new email address that I've created, my usage for this email address, and I can also change the password if I want to, and change the quota. If you plan to access this new email address using a PC client, for example Thunderbird or Microsoft Outlook, make sure you get the configuration settings. You can do that by clicking on More and click on Configure Email Client. And now cPanel will give you the configuration settings for all kinds of applications, for example Microsoft Outlook, Mac Mail, etc. So just find the one that you want to use and click on that. But you can also see the manual settings down here that you can use with your email software. So that's how easy it is to create new email accounts in cPanel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to check your emails using the webmail function in cPanel. Before you use this feature, of course, you need to have first created at least one email account in cPanel. To access your webmail, just click on the webmail link. Then click on Go to Webmail Login. Your cPanel account may come with just one webmail service or several webmail services as you see here. But in my opinion, almost all web mail services provided by cPanel are quite similar. So you just need to select one that you want to use. And if you want to select this email service by default, the next time you access webmail, you can just click on Enable Auto Load. So for now, I'm going to click on Read Mail using Horde. And then I can select the language and click on Login. Now I'm logged in to my webmail account, and I can see that I have 4 mails. So I can actually click on the inbox link to read my emails that I have received. If I want to send a new email message, I can just click on New Message, and here I can compose the actual message. I just need to enter the email address that I want to send to and put in the text content here. Or if I want to send the email in HTML, I can click on Switch to HTML composition. So this works very similar to almost any other type of email software that you've ever used. You can also save it as a draft, and you can also choose to attach certain files to your email. Once you have created a new email address using cPanel, then like almost any other email address, you would eventually start to get all kinds of spam messages. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use cPanel itself to eliminate most of the spam that you will end up getting. When you log into cPanel, under Mail, you should see a link for Spam Assassin. Just click on that link. And chances are that by default, Spam Assassin is disabled in your cPanel account. So you need to click on Enable Spam Assassin. And it says that Spam Assassin is now enabled. So click on Go Back. Next, you can configure your Spam Assassin settings. If you look under Filters, there will be a certain score that you can select, and by default cPanel would put the score at 5, which is actually the mid-range score. Now if you put the figure here as 1, which is really low, you will end up getting most of the spam eventually anyway. And if you put it as too high, you may even get some of legitimate email, or the email that you're expecting to receive, go into the spam queue. So I would recommend that you leave the spam score at 5. Now by default, Spam Assassin will automatically delete any email that it has identified as spam. If you don't want this to happen, then click on Disable Auto Delete Spam. Click on Go Back. Now that you have disabled auto deletion of spam, you may want to enable the spam box. So instead of automatically deleting any email that is identified as spam, now the emails will be sent to a special spam folder in your webmail, and you can actually go through this spam folder and filter out any emails that are legitimate and that you actually want to receive and mark them as not spam. So click on Enable Spam Box. So that's how easy it is to start using Spam Assassin, which is a free feature in your cPanel account, to limit or control the amount of spam that you may receive. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create email autoresponders using cPanel. Now this email autoresponder is pretty much similar to your out of office or on vacation reply that you may set in your work email account or email system. So to get started, just click on autoresponders. Next, click on Add Autoresponder. And you can see here that there are several variables you can use to customize your email message. So the first thing you need to do is select the interval. If you want this message to go out instantly, make sure you put 0 hours. Next, put in the email address that you want to use as an autoresponder. This could be an actual email address that you receive replies to and that you check, or it could be any email address that you want as long as it is in the domain name that you're using. Then in the form field, make sure you enter your name or your company name or whoever you want as an identifier of the person sending the email. Then you can enter a subject. You can either enter a completely new subject, or you can just copy this variable here and paste it here. And you may want to add a prefix, for example a reply. Okay, RE basically means reply. And then you can set the actual body or content of the autoresponder email. If you want the body to be in HTML, make sure you check the HTML option here. And if you want it to be in plain text, then just enter the text version of the content. So here I have gone ahead and entered the body of the email, and as you can see, I have used some of the variables here, for example the from, and this will actually be replaced by the name of the person sending the email address to your email address account. And the same thing goes here. This variable will actually be converted to the actual email address that you received the email from. So once you're satisfied with your message, click on create or modify. It says here the autoresponder has been successfully created, so click on go back. To test if your autoresponder actually works, you need to send an email from any email address except for this email address, and you should receive an instantaneous reply with the subject of the email that you sent to. So for example, if you sent a new email to this email address with the subject test, then you will get an automatic reply with the subject RE test. So that's how easy it is to create autoresponders using cPanel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to access the cPanel file manager so that you can easily view, edit or delete your files. So to do it, just log in to your cPanel account and under files look for file manager. When you click on the file manager link, you'll probably see a pop-up message like this that asks you which root directory that you want to access. So you can either access the root www directory, the FTP root or the document root. So I would recommend that you just select the web root, which is the public_html/www, and then make sure you also click on show hidden files so that you can see certain files that are necessary for your account, especially if you're running some kind of content management system like WordPress, etc. And if you do not want to see this message pop up again, make sure you click on skip this question and always open this directory in the future when opening File Manager. So for now, I'm going to click on Go. And this will open up a new tab in your browser, and this is the File Manager for your web hosting account. With the File Manager, you can easily add a new file, a new folder, you can copy files, you can move files, and you can also upload new files. So in this example, I'm going to show you how to rename a file and also how to edit a file. So if you want to rename a file, just look for the file that you want to rename and click on that file, then click on rename. So here you can see the current name of the file, and you can enter whatever name you want and click on rename file. And now you can see that the file has been renamed. So if you want to view the contents of this file and also to edit it, just click on the file again, and this time click on edit. Okay, and then click on edit again. And now you'll be able to see the actual source code of this file. So you can make whatever changes that you want to, and then click on Save Changes. Then click on Go back to File Manager. There are also two different ways of editing a file. The first is to use the code editor, and the second is to use the HTML editor. So again, make sure that you have selected the file that you want to edit. Click on Code Editor, click Edit again, and this time you will see the actual content of the file in a proper HTML editor. And you can see that each line is identified, so you have the numbers of the lines here, and all the syntax or the codes are all color coded. And if you scroll down, you can see that all the indent has been correctly done for you. The other option, of course, is if you have no idea what to do with HTML, then you can just select a file, but this time click on HTML editor, click on Edit, and you'll be able to see the actual file in a WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get format. So this is much more user friendly, and you can actually make edits on this file the same as you would with a Microsoft Word or any other type of word processing document. So that's how easy it is to get started with File Manager in cPanel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use File Manager in cPanel to quickly compress files into a zip file that you can download. First thing you need to do is log into cPanel and click on File Manager. Now you can also download individual folders from your web hosting account using an FTP program. But you can also compress the file before downloading it, and that actually speeds up the download, because instead of having to download multiple files, now you're only downloading a single zipped or compressed file. So to compress a file, just select the folder that you want to compress, and then at the top click on the compress icon. You can compress the files into different file types. For example, you can compress it into a zip archive, which is the most popular, or you can also compress it to a .tar archive. Okay, so in most cases I think you would just need to select zip archive, and then you can also rename your zip file if you don't want to use the default zip file name. Then just click on compress files. When the compression has been completed, click on close. Now when you refresh the file list, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the new zip file that you created earlier. So to download this zip file, you can just select the zip file and click on download, and then your download process would begin. You can also use the same feature in a file manager to extract any zip file that you upload to your web hosting account. So to show you how this works, I'm just going to move this file to a different folder, and I'm going to go to that folder. So now you can see the test.zip file that I created earlier, and of course here you can see that there are no folders with the name test. So I'm going to select this file, and this time I'm going to click on extract, and I can choose where I want to extract the file to. Then click on extract files, and when the process is done, you can click on close. So now you can see the new folder here that is actually the contents of this zip file. So that's how easy it is to use File Manager in cPanel to compress and extract files. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use cPanel File Manager to change the permission settings for individual files. To do that, just log into your cPanel account and click on File Manager, and then select the file that you want to change the permissions to. Now, changing file permissions is very important, especially when you're uploading a software script to be used in your web hosting account. File permissions basically control who can access the file and exactly what they can do with it. So for example, I'm going to select this .htaccess file, and then I'm going to click on Change Permissions. Here I can change the file permissions to whatever I want. I can do that by just checking some of the check boxes here. So a permission of 777 basically means that you, the user, can read, write and execute the files, and anyone else can also read, write and execute the files. Now exactly what file permissions you need to set really depends on the purpose of the file, the type of software that you're trying to install, etc. But this is the basic process of changing file permissions, and you can also change file permissions for folders. To do that, just select the folder and then click on Change Permissions. So you can see that the process is the same. Check on the boxes here to determine what kind of permissions you want to give, and then click on Change Permissions. So that's how easy it is to use File Manager to change permissions for individual files and also for folders. In this video, I'm going to show you how to upload files to your web hosting account using the File Manager. So normally you would upload files to your web hosting account using an FTP software. But if you don't have any FTP software available, then there's another way to do it using File Manager. So just log in to your cPanel account and click on File Manager. Make sure you select the correct root directory and make sure you check Show Hidden Files. Click on Go. So if you notice at the top section here, there will be an icon for upload. Click on that icon and that will open up basically the web-based FTP program that you can use to upload any file that you want. And now you can see that the upload process has started and the upload process is completed. So now my PDF file has been uploaded to the root directory. So if you want to upload files to a specific folder instead, then make sure you go back to your cPanel File Manager and first select the folder that you want to upload to. And now when you click on Upload, you will see that this upload function now helps you to upload directly to the folder that you selected. And the rest of the process is the same. Just select the file that you want and cPanel will start to upload the file automatically to your web hosting account. If you have already uploaded a file and now you just want to change the location of the file, there are two ways to do it. The first is to select the file that you want to move and then click on Move File. Then you just need to type in the address or the folder name that you want to move it to. In this case, if I type blog and click on Move File, then the file will be automatically moved to the blog folder. But I'm going to show you an even easier way to do it. The first thing you need to do is expand the folder list here until you can see the folder that you want, but don't click on that folder. Make sure that you are in the current folder where the file is located, and then click on the file, then just drag it and drop it in the correct folder. And now if I go to that folder, I'll see that the file has already been moved there. So that's how easy it is to use cPanel File Manager to upload and move your files. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create new FTP accounts. Now, when you create your web hosting account with your web hosting provider, you will already be given the default FTP account that you can use to access your files and folders. However, if you want other people to work on your website, then it's highly recommended that you create a new FTP account just for them, so that when the work is completed, you can delete the FTP account that you created for them and therefore make sure that there are no security loopholes and no one will be able to access the FTP or the folders on your website. To create a new FTP account, just log in to your cPanel and click on FTP Accounts. The first thing you need to do is give this new account a login ID. So if I'm going to give this FTP account to a freelancer, I can just put in the username of freelancer and assign a password. You can also click on password generator to automatically generate complex passwords. And if you notice, once I have created the login ID, cPanel will automatically suggest a folder that this FTP account can access. So if you want this FTP account to be able to access every file in your web hosting account, then just make sure you only put in public_HTML. If you want this FTP account to be able to access only specific folders or directories, then type in the folder name here. And you can see that as you start typing in, cPanel will automatically give you suggestions of existing folders or directories in your web hosting account. Then just select the folder that you want to give this FTP account access to. And if you want this FTP account to be able to only upload or download a certain number of files in terms of file size, then you can specify that here. Otherwise, just click on Unlimited and click on Create FTP Account. So it says here that FTP account has been created. So if I scroll down, I'll be able to see the FTP login ID and the specific folder that this FTP user can access, the usage or quota, and also I can change the password. And most importantly, when I no longer want to use this FTP account, I can just click on delete to delete the FTP account. But you have to be very careful here. Do not under any circumstances choose to delete account and files, because that will actually delete any files that you have in the folder that you specified earlier. So be very careful. Delete only the FTP accounts but not the files in the folder that the FTP account has access to. So just click on delete account to remove that FTP account earlier. So using this method of FTP account creation, you can allow multiple people to access different parts of your web hosting account, while at the same time ensuring that your main FTP account and password is kept only for you. In this video, we're going to take a look at cPanel again and see how we can use the cPanel Index Manager feature. Now, what a lot of website owners don't realize is that although they have a CMS or a content management system like WordPress installed in their home page, there are several folders in their web server itself that can be accessed publicly by almost anyone online. So this is really dangerous because people can actually see the contents of that folder and also download any files that you have in that folder, and perhaps also access other important information that is stored in that folder. For example, your login, password, or credit card information. Let me give you a very short example of exactly what I mean. Now, assuming that this is your actual website here, now if you would just go to your actualurl.com and type in images, right? So just go to your website name.com/images, and you would be able to see the default images folder here, and any of the images that you've uploaded to the default images folder. Now this is just one example. Any other folder that you have in there as well can be accessed using the same methods. Now if someone is familiar with web hosting and server technology, then they will already know what are the folders that most people will not protect by default. So to overcome this and to stop people from accessing your information, you need to log in to your cPanel account. Scroll to the bottom where you would see Index Manager. So when you click on Index Manager, make sure you select Web Root and click on Show Hidden Files, then click on Go. Then you can click on public_HTML. Okay, and by default the system setting is to show any files that are inside folders. So I do not want to use the default system setting. I want to select the second option here, no indexing, and then click on save again. Okay, so it says the index settings on home dot your server or your folder name and / public_HTML has been updated. So if you set public_HTML to not show any indexes, then the same settings will be carried forward to any files inside public_HTML and also subfolders, etc. Okay. Alright, now let's go back to this exposed folder earlier, the images folder, and let's refresh the browser. Okay, so now you see instead of showing the actual index or the contents of the folder, you would just see a message that says forbidden. You don't have permission to access the folder name on this server. So this is the easiest way to protect content and other sensitive information like files, passwords, etc. from prying eyes and from hackers online. So it's very important that you have a look at your website right now and see if you have enabled Index Manager off or if you have disabled it. And that's how easy it is to actually stop people from accessing information on your site that you don't want them to have access to. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create new MySQL databases using cPanel. Now, a MySQL database stores information regarding your website or your software program. So if you're installing, for example, WordPress, a forum software, or almost any other type of script or software, you will be required to create a MySQL database. To get started, just log into your cPanel account, and if you scroll down under databases, you will see two links. The first is MySQL databases and the second is MySQL database wizard. The first link, MySQL databases, is useful if you already know how to create MySQL databases and you want to do it the manual way. But to make things much easier, I would recommend that you select the MySQL database wizard. The first thing you need to do is give your database a name. So for example, if I am creating this database for my forum software, I would want to give it a name that is easy to recognize and to remember. Then click on Next Step. You'll be asked to create a new database user and also to assign a password to this database user. So I'm just going to create a database user with the name of admin, and give it a password and enter the password again. Of course, you can also use the password generator to generate a complex password. Then click on Create User. Next, you'll be asked to select what privileges you want to assign to this new user. Now, since you are the owner of the software, then you'd want to make sure that you have all privileges and then click on Next Step. And it says here that the user admin2 was successfully added to the database forum2. So click on Return Home. Now if you scroll down and you click on MySQL databases, you will be able to see all the databases in your account. And this is the database that I just created earlier. If you scroll down, you'll also be able to see all the users that you have created in your cPanel account, and you can assign also the users to any database that you want. If you want to delete users, you can just delete them by clicking on the X icon here. And you can also do the same for databases. You can either click on the X icon here or just click on delete database and click on delete database again to actually delete your database. But before you delete your database, make sure that your database is empty or that you no longer want to use the database. So that's how easy it is to create MySQL databases using cPanel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to protect folders in your web hosting account by assigning a password to it. Now, you may want to protect certain folders to allow access to only certain people who know the actual password. To do that, just log into your cPanel account, and if you scroll to the bottom, and if you scroll down under security, you'll be able to see a link that says Password Protected Directories. Click on that and you'll be asked to select either the web root or the document root. In most cases you can just leave it as the web root, and also click on Show Hidden Files. If you do not want to see this message again, you can also check the option at the bottom and then click on Go. So here are several folders or directories in my web hosting account. The first thing you need to do is select the folder that you want to protect. So in this case, I'm going to select a folder called Test. And then I'm going to check on Password Protect this directory and give the directory a name. And then click on Save. Next, click on Go Back. So this directory now has the password protection feature enabled to it, but you still need to create a username and a password that you can use to access this folder. So I'm going to enter username of admin, password, and then click on Add Modify Authorized User. So it says here that the user admin now has the password test. Click on Go Back. And here you can see all the users that you have. So you can actually add as many users as you want, and then you can also select the user and delete the user if you no longer want to allow that person access to this folder. To see if your password protected directories are actually working, just open a new tab and type in the URL to the directory. You should see a pop-up message like this that asks for the username and password, and then just enter the username and password that you created earlier and click on OK. So now I am accessing the password protected directory that I showed you earlier, but since I have no files in this directory, I'll just be able to see the directory index. So that's basically how you can password protect any directory in your web hosting account using cPanel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create redirect links using cPanel. Now there are two main reasons why you'd want to use a cPanel redirect. The first reason is to simply collect all your existing traffic that may be going to an outdated or a non-existent page on your website, and to redirect that traffic into a more updated or recent page. And the same thing goes for any URL structures that you may have changed and so on. And the second reason is to redirect affiliate links. Now there are several solutions out there that you can use to manage and redirect your affiliate links, but you can also do the same thing for free using your cPanel account. So the first thing you need to do is log into cPanel, scroll to the bottom where you would see domains, and then click on redirects. So make sure you select the 301 redirect, which is the permanent redirect, and then select your root domain. Enter the page name including the page extension here, for example .html or .php, and then enter the actual link that you want to redirect to. Finally, make sure that you have selected to redirect with or without the www, and then click on add. So now my redirect link has been created. So if I copy this link, paste it to my browser and hit enter, then it will automatically take me to clickbank.com. However, this type of redirect is not suitable if you already have a WordPress blog or any other type of content management or CMS system that uses a .htaccess file on the root of your domain. So I'm going to show you a simple way to overcome this limitation. Again, make sure you have selected the permanent 301 redirect. But now instead of using the root domain, for example your actual url.com, I've created a subdomain and I'm going to use the subdomain here. Okay, and I can either redirect the entire subdomain, or I can also add a file name similar to what I did earlier, and then I'm going to select the actual URL to redirect to, and then make sure that you redirect with or without the www. Click on add. Okay, so it says the redirect test.youractualurl.com /affiliate.html now redirects to www.clickbank.com. I'm going to click on go back, and if I scroll to the bottom here, okay, so I'll be able to see the two redirect links that I've just created. Now what I'm going to do is click on this link and open in a new tab, and I'm going to show you what happens. So here you can see the redirect link that we created earlier, and you can see that it automatically redirects to the URL that I specified before, which is www.clickbank.com. So that's how you create cPanel redirects. It's a very simple, cost-effective and easy way to direct traffic to your new or updated page or website, and also to manage and mask your affiliate links. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a new subdomain using cPanel. Subdomains are part of your primary domain, and in most cases they are used for segmenting or splitting your primary domain into many different parts. For example, if you want to have a forum on your website, you may choose to create a subdomain and call it forum. Therefore, your actual forum location will be forum.youractualurl.com. To create a subdomain, just log in to your cPanel account and scroll to the bottom. Under domains, you should see a link for subdomains. Click on that link. Then you just need to enter your subdomain name. So going with the example above, I'm going to create a subdomain name of forum. And you can see that cPanel will automatically create a document root for this subdomain, which matches the subdomain that you created. So if you want to use these subdomains, then you have to upload all your files to the forum folder created by cPanel. Finally, just click on create to create the actual subdomain. It says here forum.youractualurl has been created. Click to go back, and here you can view all the subdomains that are currently in your account. If you want to create a subdomain for the purpose of redirection, then once you have created the subdomain, you can click on manage redirection and enter the actual URL that you want to redirect the subdomain to. If you want to remove subdomains, then you can just click on remove and then click on delete subdomain. So that's how you create and manage subdomains in your cPanel account. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the add-on domains feature in cPanel. Using the add-on domains feature, you can host multiple domain names in a single web hosting account. So to get started, first you need to log in to your cPanel account and then look for add-on domains. Now this is where you will enter your new add-on domain. But before this feature can work, make sure that you have set the correct DNS server settings to the add-on domain. Here I'll show you an example of how to change your DNS settings using NameCheap. So once I'm logged into NameCheap, I just need to find the domain name that I want to use and then click on Specify Custom Name Servers. Then you just need to enter the same name servers that is used by your primary domain name for your web hosting account. And if you don't know what the name servers are, then please contact your web hosting company. Once you have entered the correct name servers, then just click on Save Changes. When you change your domain name to a new DNS server or name server, it may take up to 24 hours for the name servers to be updated depending on the place where you registered your domain name. So you may have to wait a while. After a few hours, you may want to try again to use the add-on domain name feature. So I'm going to continue from where I stopped earlier. I'm just going to put in the new domain name that I want to use. And now cPanel will automatically suggest a subdomain or FTP username that I can use to upload files to this new add-on domain. Now since this add-on domain is sharing the same web hosting account, therefore cPanel will also create a new document root with the domain name in the root. Next, you just need to enter your password and then click on Add Domain. And here it says the add-on domain has been successfully created. So now I can click to go back to see all the add-on domains in my account, and I can see this add-on domain here. So to use an add-on domain, you need to know the document root, and this is the document root given by cPanel, and also your FTP username and the FTP password. To connect to this add-on domain and to upload files to it, you need to use the information here. So that's how easy it is to add new domains as add-on domains to your cPanel account. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to back up your entire cPanel account. Now, unlike any backup plugins that you may be using on your WordPress blog, the cPanel backup actually backs up everything, not just your WordPress blog, your posts, and any images used in a WordPress blog, but also other folders that you have uploaded to your web hosting server, as well as email settings, the actual emails themselves, and other databases that you may have in your cPanel account. So it's really a very complete solution to back up everything in your web hosting account. And to do this, just log into your cPanel account and click on Backup Wizard. So since we want to back up our entire server, I'm just going to click on Backup. Then you can select to back up the home directory, the MySQL databases, the email forwarders and filters, or what I recommend you do is to use the full backup. So I'm going to click on full backup. Next, you have to select a backup destination. This is basically where you want to dump or where you want to put your backup files. So if you have a remote FTP server, then you can choose the other options here. But the easiest way is to just send the backup information to your email address. So just enter your email address here and then click on generate backup. Okay, so it says full backup in progress. Once the full backup of your account has been completed, you will receive an email message to the address you specified. Okay, so this may take a very short time if your website is relatively new, or it could take a much longer time if you actually have a huge website with a lot of files, etc. So once you receive the email message, and then if you log into your cPanel account again and you go to the full backup option that I showed you earlier, basically to the same screen, you see now the actual backup file, which is stored under zip folder, alright, using .tar.gs. So this is the actual file, and I can just right click here, choose save link as, okay, and I can save it to my computer. Okay, so again, this backup file consists of every single item in your web hosting account, including your WordPress blog, your WordPress plugins and themes, images, and other folders or files that you may have uploaded, as well as your email settings and also the actual emails themselves. This is the easiest way to do a complete backup of every single thing in your web hosting account.